Ben 10 and Generator Rex are two shows that most people see interchangeably, and I don't blame them. Both were created by Man of Action, and both were Cartoon Network action cartoons that aired in the early 2010s. So why not make a crossover, am I right? It seems like a genius move financially, would make an epic story and please the fans, while entertaining them for a few minutes as well. And thus, Ben 10 Generator Rex Heroes United was made in 2011 to an absolutely amazing consensus. I felt like it was only fair to review it, and the very day before the new Ben Gen 10 crossover comes out this year, a whole 10 years after this masterpiece aired. I'll be reviewing Ben Gen 10 very soon with another special YouTuber, but for this video, I thought it would only be appropriate to make it a crossover special with the fluffy duck himself, the man, the myth, the TTS wizard, Mr. Nostalgia. With all that out of the way, let's jump into this. What can I say about the plot? I honestly think this is a really great way to get into these similar characters together and tell their stories brilliantly. The excuse they brought for Ben being teleported was explained as well as it really could be, and they really made it worth it in the end. I think Ben interacting with Rex and his friends was easily the best part, and made for some really nice dialogue, which felt natural. I would have personally loved it if Rex came to Ben's world and met Gwen and Kevin and all that, since I'm more knowledgeable and passionate about Ben 10, as I'm sure most people are, but it was probably done intentionally as a way to bring attention to the lesser known property by using the Bigger Brother show. I think Ben's aliens were all used appropriately, albeit some used a little too much, like Diamond Head, but come on, I don't think anyone didn't jump up and smile when Upgrade merged with Rex and made this epic armor.
What happens when the best you can do just isn't enough?
You get an upgrade.
This movie also introduced us to Shock Squatch, with not the final and much better character design, but with a nice introduction and backstory, and a solid portrayal in his role in the plot. I think one of the best in classic Ben 10 tropes is discovering and learning a new alien on the spot, and it was really nice to see that here. The pacing was a little inconsistent, and the villain was honestly pretty generic, but other than that, it was pretty solid. Overall, I think this was a very nicely told plot, and did everything it needed to, and did it pretty well.
Generally, when most people think of a crossover between two shows, they think of one main character group meeting the other show's main character group, like the Jimmy Timmy Power Hours or Jetsons meets the Flintstones. This special, however, only really featured Ben Tennyson coming from his world to Rex's world, and changing art styles in the process. Ben and Rex's relationship in this special was actually really interesting. In a way, they're pretty similar. They make a lot of jokes, and have the same level of confidence, which is why they at first were at odds with each other. It wasn't really until they had that conversation at the basketball court where they really realized who the other person was. Ben's backstory compared to Rex's is pretty simple and easy to understand. His parents are still alive. He has a close relationship with his grandfather and cousin. Rex, on the other hand, didn't really have any of that. His parents are gone. His brother is working for the side he's supposed to be against, and his best friends are a monkey and a kid who at first was only sent to spy on him. The fact that they both went through completely different situations while growing up, yet both came to have similar personalities, really shows how much Rex has developed. I definitely wish Kevin and Gwen were in this episode, but I'm also at the same time glad they weren't, because it would have likely taken away from the two main characters' dynamic, which, as I stated before, was really cool.
The animation used in the special was the Generator Rex art style, so Ben and all his aliens get a cool redesign here. Honestly, I didn't have a big problem with it, and it looked very high quality and beautiful in a lot of shots. A lot of aliens look really cool in this style, like Cannonbolt or Big Chill, and everything just looks more polished and clean, while offering an alternative look at what a Ben 10 art style might look like. The animation itself was also super fluid and felt really smooth. Not much to complain about. It was no wonder Duncan Rouleau loved this movie so much. But oh god, I can't stop thinking of Humongosaur with horns. Why?
Now, as for the crossover aspect of this episode, the special was very much so a Generator Rex episode. If you were a kid and never really watched the show, you likely wouldn't really understand what was going on. They used a lot of terminology that's only native to the show, and the episode dives deep into Generator Rex lore. That being said, Ben 10 was also very much a part of it, and the episode actually has a lot to do with his lore too. Basically, Rex's brother sent the big bad monster dude to the null void, as he explains in the episode. Now, I would tell you what the null void is, but considering we're on A.S.K's channel and he's made a billion videos on Ben 10, I'm pretty sure you should know what it is by now. I'm glad they included that though, because it shows that there's actually a reason for Ben to be there. It made the crossover feel natural and not forced, unlike some other crossovers I've seen. The episode ends with Ben and Rex fist bumping, and them agreeing that they should do this again sometime. And, well, technically they will. I'm going to remain optimistic that the new crossover special is good, because as a big Generator Rex fan, I'm just glad to see my man again. Even if he's like 11 in this one.
And that's Heroes United. Tell us both what you thought of the movie in the comments down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and reviews. And please leave a like if you enjoyed. Huge thanks to Mr. Nostalgia for joining me on this review, even though he's like half active as a YouTuber now. But be sure to subscribe to him and check out his stuff, like that video with me from a while back. I'll also be reviewing the new Ben Gen 10 special with another special guest very soon, so stick around for that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you beautiful ladies and jellyfish next time. Shalom!